Hey, this is Matt. Once again, we're about to the videos of the paid request this time from Tomas. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for Cinema Paradiso. More so the director's cut, which is about 3 hours long, which is pretty great. He did send a nice amount, so I was willing to do it. Thank you for that, Tomas. And I do think, while this cut is a bit long, I did not mind the film. I did like it. It's a movie that takes place in Rome, mostly in Sicily, about this guy who's become this famous director, and he gets a phone call from his mom that a friend of his, Alfredo, has passed away. So while he travels there, we get most of the movie a flashback of growing up in Sicily, being a kid there, whose father had passed away long ago. His mom is a bit of a bitch, to be honest, just with the way she treats people, mainly her kids. I think she's an awful person, but that's just me. But this kid works in the church and he loves movies. And what the movie is showcasing just how much, especially at this time period, how people were just in love with the cinema, especially in places like Sicily, where this time period, how small this town is, or this area is, I should say, how the movies, the movie theater, could be such a place of wonder, escapism, laughter, just how important it could be for people as a social hangout. I mean, it has definitely been lost in today's age where you just go at home and watch it on TV, computer, internet, all sorts of stuff. Very, very different back then. And the movie's a showcase of other people's love for movies, especially this kid who's willing to watch any movie. He's very interested about the projector, and the projectionist, and what goes on behind the scenes. There's a type of censorship where this priest who helps own the theater, he has the projectionist screen movies before they show it, and if there's kissing in it or long embracing, he'll ring a bell and cut those scenes out. Then he saves them so that when he's got to get the film to somewhere else, he puts them back in and ship the film out to where it needs to go with the scene intact. But just in this town, because of the priest, the religious, they want all the romantic scenes out of it. So you get this bond between the kid and the older projectionist guy, where, you know, they don't get along at first, but as it goes on, he appreciates the kid's love for movies. He feels bad for the kid. At one point, the mom is like smacking the kid very harshly. I just because he used milk money to see a movie at the ticket. I said, well, actually, you know, here's the money. It was left on the ground here. At one point, they're both taking tests for school. I think for him, it was like night school, the older guy. And it's a funny scene where he's like, psst, hey, help me. Hey, you little jerk, come on. Like, come on, help me. It's like, little kid's like, what do you want me to do about it? Come on, you little brat. Ultimately, the kid does help him. Throws something, and dad's like, no one's around? Okay. So they start the bond. And because of that bonding procedure, he starts teaching the kid all the techniques of being a projectionist. And you see how other people in the town, how they react to the movies. Like when kitchen scenes are cut out, this one guy always keeps spitting on the movie theater floor. You have this one guy like reciting every line of dialogue before it occurs. Throughout the years, this one guy has passed away, and so his seat, some flowers are put on there, kind of in memory of the guy. I won't point the crowd. They can't afford it. They will love to see the movie. Oh, why not? We'll project it onto the building so everyone can see it and enjoy. Until ultimately this fire occurs, the guy gets blinded, the kid saves his life. He can't really do much, so now the kid takes the job of being a projectionist. And then the chunk of the film is in his teen years. Now, I will say his teen years were honestly the least interesting part of the film for me. I get where they're going with, where it's him finding young love. And maybe that's the thing, is that when it was about him and the passion of the movies, that was more intriguing to me. Don't get me wrong, the other part is very important, because when it gets to the third part, which is the modern day part, when he's come back for the funeral of his friend, you get the idea that he's doing very well professionally, but personally, he's not really big in relationships. Which I guess that's the thing, is that when you're growing up and every piece of love or embrace or kiss is taken away and edited out, and you're living your life vicariously through these movies, and it's not like how it is today, where there's much easier ways to find love if you wanted, that can maybe affect your frame of mind when that stuff occurs. Especially when he's a teen and there's this girl that he loves, but her father's disapproving. I don't know, it's just something about that just wasn't as intriguing to me. Maybe because at first I'm trying to figure out who this person is in conjunction to when the he was a little kid. Now, of course, many of these people are grown up. He starts filming stuff, but one of the first things he films is a cow being killed. Which that has to happen in order to have food, I get that. But the fact that that's like one of the first things he films, I thought was a bit weird. I thought like there's so much other stuff you could film for your first or second or third gander. The fact that it seemed like it was the first thing you filmed was a bit weird to me. But it still does show just how important thieves were to folks at that time. And ultimately ends with him waiting for the girl, but she, further change her mind. Apparently it didn't. The projectionist going, listen, if you really want to follow your dreams, you can't stay here. You need to leave. Don't even come back for a vacation. You need to just leave and not come back. As he puts it, I don't want to hear from you. I want to hear about you. I thought that was a very efficient line. This is after he did a stint in the military and he came back. He put letters out. He never got any back. Figured she wanted nothing to do with him. He doesn't know what to do. And that's where the guy's like urging him, follow your dreams. Which he ultimately did. Now, we never get to see how he followed his dreams. Did he go to film school? Did he find someone in Hollywood? Did he get a lucky break? We don't really get to know much about his films. I thought that was a bit strange, because that seems like to be a pretty important part. But I guess it's more about his childhood and teen years in the Sicily area. But yeah, it'd be nice to know, okay, well, how did he get to Hollywood? Did he go to Hollywood first? Did he go to films? Like, you don't really get much of that part. I feel for a 3-hour movie, that seemed like some important information, but that's kind of ignored. I just, for a lot of people, they don't care about that, but I did. So yeah, I appreciate where his heart was at, because I can understand what that kid felt. Now, I didn't get to the theater much when I was a kid, because we lived on a farm in the middle of nowhere in Iowa, and the nearest movie theater was probably 45 miles away, give or take. I know we lived in Iowa, and you literally had to cross the Minnesota border in order to get to a town that had a movie theater called Fairmont, Minnesota. So it had to be very, very, very rarely that we went to see a movie. But it's mostly videotapes. So the way they looked at movie theaters, I looked at with videotapes. Granted, different sort where you're in a group of strangers and you all have this kind of shared experience with a bunch of strangers. Either hopefully you're laughing or crying or throughout the whole experience in similar wavelengths. Granted, there's a part of me that's like, kind of why did not. I'm glad I don't go to the theater anymore because if some guy started talking and reciting the whole damn movie before they said it, I'd be like, shut the fuck up. If all these people kept talking and laughing and doing that, this is a part of my brain's like, will you shut up? Kind of like my first channel when I did this whole rant about the movie theater experience. It's like the popcorn's too damn much, and the soda's too damn much, and the tickets are too damn much, and people won't shut up, and people in the front is a bunch of blonde bimbos laughing at stuff that isn't supposed to be laughing at. People in the back talking, not shutting the hell up. And the kids are whining and crying. The babies are crying. I'm like, boom, pop goes a weasel, kick the babies in the field goals, shut them up, get a babysitter, get a bib, get a Ziploc bag, just leave me the fuck alone. God damn it, let me just watch this stuff at home. I watch it at home and get peace of mind. At least I could get up, take a lead, get something to eat, get something to snack on, not worry about a damn thing. So, for the most part, I do rather prefer watching stuff at home in privacy and silence. But it does make a good case of how the movie theater experience can be important to people, especially in small towns like this, especially back in the day when the other option wasn't available. And then the third act, which is like an hour long of this 3 hour director's cut, is him getting back, seeing the funeral for his friend, seeing how some of the people are still there who were around when he was a projectionist, seeing the theater that's run down, is ready to be demolished. I forget what's going to be in its place, but it's about ready to be demolished. And you see sort of the rundown place and the memories coming back of the times he had here. In this little lion thing where when he was a kid he imagined it opened its mouth and roaring. Now it's there with a bunch of cobwebs. Surprised he didn't take it home. Had a little piece of your nostalgia history, but I guess he's like, nah. I guess most of the director, because the director's cut adds about 20-30 minutes into the movie. Something like that. I guess a lot of it is in this last hour where there's this former flame of his, and one way leads to another, they're able to connect again, and even have some fun horizontal fandango in the car. And then he finds out what really happened was that she did want to connect with him back in the day. She did leave a note, but the note got hidden from him because of Alfredo. Because Alfredo wanted to push him out of here to get his butt going to follow his dreams. So on one hand, it's kind of a crappy thing to do because he lost the love of his life, possibly. But on the other hand, it did get him the traction to go follow his dreams. So whether that's right or wrong, that's up to the viewer, I guess. But I mean, the lead guy gets pissed for a bit, but it seems like he easily forgives the guy. And his former flame has a life of her own, so nothing's going to come of it. But before he leaves, he does get this reel. He goes back home. He plays the reel, and he finds out it's all the love scenes that were cut out before put back together. And his whole montage of love scenes, I just in a way showing, okay, you made your dream, kid. Now find that love. And just like he learned the love of cinema throughout movies, here he's learning the love of actual love throughout cinema in this way. Sort of this guy's last. I think it would have been nice if he had gotten a camera and filmed himself talking to the kid. I think that would have been nice if Alfredo, like before he died, he had somehow gotten a camera and filmed a final message to the guy. So it's like, final words, I'm proud of you, from his mouth, his words. So you have like the guy looking up to his friend, it's like up there to the heavens, and he's talking here. So it's like talking from beyond the grave, but saying, I'm proud of you. And then show those scenes. Now to present you one more movie. And shows those. I think that would have been a nice cherry on top of things. But the acting is good, especially from the guy who played the projectionist, as well as I'd say the little boy did a really good job in the film. I'm typing up because I cannot pronounce these actors' names. Philippe Noiret as Alfredo, and then Salvatore Cascio as the child Salvatore. The teenage guy, I don't know, I was kind of iffy on his performance. I didn't mind Jacques Perrin, who was the adult Salvatore. Didn't mind him. Which I'm saying, not sure what else he's done. A lot of stuff I can't. Oh, he had a big role in Brotherhood of the Wolf. He had a big role in that. But yeah, apparently this was shot in the director's hometown, Bulgaria, Sicily. Nostalgic postmodernism. Sentimentality with comedy and nostalgia with pragmatism. Issues of youth, coming of age, and reflections in adulthood about the past. The imagery and the scenes can be said to reflect Salvatore's idealized memories of his childhood. Celebration of films. He develops a passion for films that shapes his life path in adulthood. It was 155 minutes. It got poor box office, so it got cut down to 124 minutes in international release. And the director's cut was 173 minutes, so it's about, that's 50 minutes longer. Damn. I say it was like 30. It's 50 minutes. So damn. I don't know. Maybe I should have saw that first, the shorter cut. But yeah. This was a pretty decent film. It won the Academy Award for Best Foreign Film in 1989. He gave a high rating to the extended version, but he thought the theatrical version was superior. I must confess that the shorter version of Cinema Paradiso is a better film than the longer version. Then why did you give the longer version a better score? I don't understand that. Also give credit to Ennio Morricone, who worked on the music. Of course, Ennio Morricone did the Man with No Name trilogy, John Carpenter's The Thing, among many other films. Definitely a composer that's up there with the greats. Ennio Morricone did another nice job on the score. Like I said, the teenage years wasn't the most exciting or thrilling to me. I think just the teenage years, for me, it felt... I was so into him having the passion of films and being so concentrated on films. And the teenagers, understandably so, he was more concentrated on the girls. It was more about the other parts of the town being fascinated with the movies. I wanted to see more of how he's influenced by the movies as a teenager. It was more like he's doing the job. At times he's falling asleep and someone's waking him up, or there's a point where they had to get this film can, and this guy has to ride on a bike, and he sees two people humping. He flips his bike, and he's got to keep going. So I guess I was just a bit more into the pacing, a bit more into the story when he was a kid, and when he's a main adult. Those things I just prefer. I don't know how else to word it. Overall, pretty decent movie. Pretty decent film. I did like it. Because again, I can appreciate the love of cinema like this little kid does. So, to live vicariously through him, a lot of things I can understand and sympathize with, so to speak. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye bye.